Hello everyone, welcome to the astronomy class. Today I'd like to explain the parallax method. So using the parallax method, I'd like to measure the distance to the light corners of the light field. In the parallax method, we use triangles. We'd like to measure this distance, the length of the bottom of the triangle, and also the angle of these triangles. So we'd like to create a triangle with the right angles. Then measuring the side of the bottoms and the angles, we'd like to determine the distance to the left corner of the light field. Now I came to the positions for this corner of the triangles. Okay. So I'd like to show you this bottom of the side corresponds to this length. So you can find that these straight lines directed to this corner of the triangles. So this length corresponds to the bottom of the triangles. And also I'd like to show you this direction is directed to the left corner of the light field. Okay, so we could form the right angles, these right angles. Then we'd like to find out the length of the bottom of the triangle. Let's measure this bottom of the triangles with a tape measure. Now we are going to measure this length of the bottom of the triangles using these tape measures. So this is a 10-meter tape measures. So at first I'd like to show you the 10 meters. So now I'm going to move to the next 10 meters, to the 30 meters. Okay, here is a 30 meters. Okay, now 40 meters. Now we're almost there to the other corner of the triangles. That's fine. This is the position. So now it becomes 7.3 meters. So now we could determine this distance, 47.3 meters. 47.3 meters. Now we are going to measure these angles. Okay, now I'd like to measure this angle of the triangles. At first, I'd like to set this, so we can see that this is a parallel to this road. This is 0 angles. Then we'd like to find the direction of the right corner of the light field. Okay, so now you can find that the angle is directed to the left corner of the light field is correspond to the 12 degrees. This is 12 degrees. We measure the angles. So this corresponds to the 12 degrees. So this angle of the triangle becomes 90 degree minus 12 degree becomes 78 degrees. We measure that this bottom of the length becomes 47.3 meters. And the angle of this triangle is 78 degrees. So this is right angles. So you can easily measure that this is 12 degrees. So we'd like to determine this distance of the r. So using the trigonometric function of the cosines, r cosine 78 degree is equal to the 47.3 meters. So using this equation, we can calculate the distance of the r. So r becomes 228 meters. Then we'd like to confirm our calculation. Direct measure the length of this side. So let's measure the distance. Okay, now I'd like to directly measure the length to the corner of this light field using the tape measures. So first 10 meters. Okay, so now we are moving to the 20 meters. Move to the 30 meters. Move to the 40 meters. Okay, now 50. this is a 60 meters, so I'm moving to the 70. Okay, this is 70s. Okay, now 80s, so move to the 90. Okay, 90s, move to the 100. This is 100, 100. So you can see the stop lines. That's positions. We have 100-meter away. So now we move to 110. Okay, now 110 meters. So 120. Okay, this is the 120s. So move to 130. So it's a long way to the left corner of the rice field. Now 140. So move to the 150. And now we move to the 160. Okay, this is the 160s, 170s. So 180s, I'm moving the 80s. So move to the 190. Now we are very close to the left corner of the rice field. So next one is a 200. So you can see the starting positions. You can find the stop sign. It's a red mark of the triangle, 100 meters away from here. So now 210. Now move to 220. This is 220s, so very close to the end. So maybe last measurement of the length to the corner of the triangles. So now we are measuring this length to the end. Last one. This is a 227.6 meters. 227.6 meters. Surprisingly, this is very close to our calculated values of the 228 meters. So using this parallax method, we determine the distance to a nearby stars. Okay, so hopefully you understand the parallax method. Hope you measure the distance using a parallax method by yourself.